Hey, good evening, everybody. I am sorry that it's taken me so long to get back in here. I had more than just the one call. I actually was going to call another guy, and had just one of those things where it just took way longer than what I had intended on. But anyhow, let's see, trying to clear out some of my stuff here. There we go. All right, so we're going to get back on this thing. So I went ahead and grabbed me some lunch while we were out. Got that taken care of, so that way I don't have to really stop a whole lot the rest of the evening. But anyhow, I went ahead and put the feet on the bottom of the amp. So we got that taken care of. I also went ahead and, while I was on the phone, went ahead and installed the input and output tune, and we'll see how that lands. This is probably going to be the only thing that may have to be tweaked. The 2290s have been pretty consistent though, so should be good to go as far as with the selected values. So let's see, is there anything else we need to do before we actually set it down into the cabinet? I've got my two wires here. We've got the keying set up. Speaking of keying, relay out here, keying circuit out. Yeah, so I can put a jumper here. We can do that still outside. How's everything going for everybody this evening? Just grab another part here real quick. Okay, and I need a little bit of magnet wire. Take basically just a little bit of that coating off, and I'll show you guys why here in just a minute. Good evening, Tracy. Yes, we are back. Just like AC/DC, back in black. Not really, but though I do like AC/DC. Yeah, some of these chokes I've made just enough of. I know what to expect out of the inductance out of them. Okay. Got that broke. that off, side of the ends. Should be good to go. Well, thank you, Tracy. And like I said, I sometimes spend a little too much time on some things, especially whenever it's right around the Christmas time. I just like to do something unique. Okay. Good evening, Squirrel. I see you pop back in there. Okay. I need to quit fighting it now whenever I've got the tools right here. Sometimes that's the best thing in the world to use right here is just some of your scraps. As far as use those up for just the coating. Like small insulators. Yeah, basically that's what we're going to do. I've got the program already saved on my laptop. That way we can do the live feed and we can actually see it via the computer. But yeah, that's what I'd planned on doing. I've got about a half a dozen names from the first 15 minutes that people started commenting. And, I'm going to try to periodically do that as far as keep adding names to it, throughout this week until we actually have everything taken care of that we need to. So that's kind of the goal. I wish there was a way I could have somebody help do that portion of it, but it is what it is. Okay. That one put on there. Hey, good evening, John. I see you pop back in there. Mr. DD, good evening. And then we got our buddy with Harvey, the Squirrel Chronicles. Okay. All right. Two more pieces to take and put in that I know. Now, there's actually a lot more that goes on as far as with biasing, I think, than what some people realize. Um, I'm using actually the same method that I used on John's, just this is a little different configuration. Not a lot, just because of the fact that it's it's a 4 pill versus a 6 pill. Um, but for the most part, it's an identical circuit. And what you guys see me build just here in the last week or so on the straight 6 that I did for John. So one of the things, and I know people have seen where I'm using smaller components. Well, the reason why I can get by here, part of it has to do with the little part that I'm getting ready to install. Okay, that's a small portion of it. The other side of that too is the diodes. The diodes that I'm using, they have a different attribute to them because there's, oh my Lord, there is just about as many diodes as there is, guys out there building amps. Quite literally. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. But like I said, there's multiple different methods that are being used today as far as with biasing. I could, if I chose to do so, I could actually take these, and set them across just like everybody else does. I know over the years I have done many different ones, and I personally like to set them out of the way. If they're up front, to me, they actually work or perform a little bit better because you've got something that helps draw the heat out of them, and not just worry about the ambient air temperature. You're still going to have your airflow that's going to go across it, but you're also going to have something that helps actually draw the heat out of it. By utilizing part of the actual copper board. That I have looked at so many different variations when it comes to biasing, and there are some easier methods, believe it or not. There really is. But there's also methods like, for example, the relay here. It just would have been so massive overkill as far as for the size of it. I think I'd rather just hold on to these and use these in either a 6 or an 8 pill, in relationship to the biasing, because I can actually get by without the relay up here by utilizing one of these. When I ordered these, I was hoping to get essentially this relay in a shorter package. So, I've got them, I'll use them. We'll put them in something and, work them out. They're good heavy duty relays. These are actually, I think, rated for 15. Nope, they still got them rated at 10. Okay. Yeah, 10 amps. But like I said, another really good relays. I've used some of these in the past. These are actually made by Tyco Electronics. Again, they're not the run-of-the-mill Omerons that you've seen in a lot of builds. Same thing with these. These are, I believe, IDC is the name of the company. but a lot better quality. There we go. All right. So other than running my last little wire here, which I can actually cut me off a piece and run it over here, that way it's easier than trying to solder in here. Let me grab a small little snippet. And let's see here. We need, stay with red. JT, okay. I know right now with the Christmas giveaway and stuff, I have, once I actually posted that, I have shut down being able to join the group until after. And the reason why is, granted, now some of you guys have been added in within the last few days or what have you, but I've had a swarm of people last year that had never been on my channel pop in for one reason, because we gave a 2x4 away, that particular year. So yeah, that was a big grand prize, but I didn't want to sit there and have people that's been with me here for 3 or 4 years, that have popped in and stayed active. To me that was cutting out their chances. So that's the last thing I wanted to do, was cut chances for those of you that's been with me for several years. So that's partly why I have suspended people to the group until after the drawing. After the drawing is done, I'll shut off commenting so that I can get everybody listed. But once that's done and we get the drawing out, then I'll go ahead and I'll start looking at those that are sitting there with a friend request. Well, not necessarily a friend request if it's personal, but if it's related to the Facebook page. So I gave 2 tentative dates, and part of the reason why I've done that, as far as on the tentative dates, is based on my work schedule. Right now we're incredibly short-handed up there, and I really hope that I don't have to put it all the way off until actually Christmas. Like I said, it depends on my work schedule. Because like I said, we've been running incredibly short-handed, so well, we have to be there for those of us that pay the bills. So, oops. One other thing I was going to do. There we go. What's that, Tracy? Are you out of there, I guess? You should, Squirrel. You've been, I think you're on my Facebook page, I believe. But the drawing will be, I think, either the 19th or the 21st. Now, there's 2 amplifiers that are actually going to be given away. I actually had comments from 3 Made a little bit later this yesterday, and then today we sat down and I talked to him, and he told me about the fact that he wanted to get on the giveaway. Now, for him, it will be sometime you don't do Facebook. Let me see what I can do, Squirrel, as far as that goes. But trying to think here. Because I know you've been in here for some time as well. But like I said, I'll see what I can do here. Anyhow, where were we at? I know the door opened and a gentleman come in to tell me he's getting ready to leave. Have a good evening. I know you're on your way in. Yeehaw. Yep. Yeah, you just started a little earlier than I do. Or I started a little too late. Have a good night, Dwayne. All right. So, Facebook. We're doing good, Donnie. Yep, I do know that, Squirrel. I know you are here for that, as far as that's concerned. So, I've got to figure out a way, and that'll have to be tonight if somebody wants to comment. I need to have a way that I can track, because that's one of the things I actually wanted to do as well, is put, because some of you I know, for example, Squirrel, you don't do Facebook, but that way, you can get yourself entered in as well. Yeah, like I said, we're just trying to figure out a good method, but I need to actually have somebody, or some way to actually track that. So what we could do, good evening, Bill. Back 9. Well, we can see what we can do on that, Donnie. Oh, I thought you were, Warren. I could have swore you were in my Facebook. But if I remember right, the comments, there's actually a second. Good evening, Sid. I believe there's actually a separate comment section for whenever the feed goes off for this evening. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and do this. After I finish up with the video, if you have not already listed yourself through Facebook, please comment with your handle and what state or country, if you live out of country. But if you live in that, please comment where you're from and your handle, if you would, after the end of this video, and I'll go ahead and list you guys or enter you guys into the drawing as well. So, like I said, I know I've got about 500, a little over 500 people that are here on Facebook. I'm almost hoping not all of you put in for that, because it's going to be brutal trying to enter in all those names. And I am a very, very slow typer. I do the hand peck, or the hunt and peck. So, like I said, we'll do the same thing that I'm doing on Facebook. Basic rules. It's going to be harder for me to track as far as those that just pop in on the Facebook page, but I'll try to go ahead and enter you guys as well that don't do Facebook and just do the YouTube. We'll go ahead and enter you in based off of the name, your name as far as your handle and where you're from after the video. So, if you include those into the comment section after the video, I'll get you entered in, because I will go ahead and do a live feed where I'll be simultaneously on Facebook and also on YouTube at the same time. That way everybody knows, and you can tune on to one or the other. and everybody will have the same chance. But there is going to be 2 amplifiers given away. I'm going to talk with 3 and my 2 moderators that have been, a lot of help over the years, and see if they can go ahead and help, help me with a portion of that. But we'll decide on who goes first as far as whether or not we give the 3-mate amplifier away first, or the Rainmaker 4-pill. 3-mate has donated a 2-pill. It will be after Christmas before he can ship his. The reason why is because he has been diagnosed with COVID, and he has to get over that, and everything has to be cleared, and what have you. He's been doing great as far as on the overall, but it will be after Christmas before he'll be able to ship you that. So just bear that in mind. But we'll draw one of them first, and then we'll draw the second one. So as long as you're entered in, you're actually entered in for 2 chances to win. So whether it be mine or the one from 3-mate, which would be Early Adams. So yeah, so that's actually a pretty good deal. One of my moderators, he's also wanting to kind of do something as well. Again, it may wind up a situation where we have another belated Christmas gift coming up. So we'll have to see how that goes. I had a talk just before we did the live feed. I talked to John, which got his stuff over here. Got to make him up one more jumper, which is not a big deal. But we'll get that taken care of as well. Yeah, like I said, just a lot of things going on this close to Christmas. I'm really hoping that I can get everything pulled together that I need to or want to. Obviously I want to get this done, but I also need to get that 48 pill done as well. So, alrighty, let's go ahead. Check something out here. Yep, I got one thing I wanted to get done. Still haven't done yet. Get a hold of it. Should be that one right there. All right. There's a couple different ways to do this as far as the mounting into the actual case itself. I've always preferred just to go ahead and retap the holes, because they're actually the ideal size for 632 tap. So I like tapping them and putting those in. Some people use what they call or classify as a sheet metal screw, which is actually a very aggressive screw. Although it works very well, I just choose to use what I already stock on a regular basis. So sit the little baby down in there. There we go. Push those off to the side. All righty. Tell you guys, I am digging that red. I'm sorry, but the video, from what I'm seeing on my screen, it does not do it justice. Actually, Squirrel, that would be a huge lifesaver. to be brutally honest with you. What color is that red? Well, it is the candy apple red. Is basically what it is. There's actually the paint that we used. I actually ordered this. It's Duplicolor, which I have used Duplicolor, oh Lord, off and on for like 30 some years. This one is actually designed, and it says, you know, apply over chrome or shiny metal, since copper, if you clean it good, is an actual shiny metal. Or metal cast, base coat, you know, multiple different things. But one of the nice things about it is it says right here at the bottom, heat resistance. It's actually designed essentially to go over top of like an aluminum intake and stuff like that. So, you know, and it's in a spray can. You can actually buy that on Amazon, which is where this came from. Why? Because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make it to the store, to my Napa store, because of my schedule. So I went ahead and ordered this online. Probably paid a little too much for it, but the Duplicolor paints, especially when you get into a heat resistant, they're kind of expensive. You know, it's about $14 for that can of paint, and I bought this solely for this one job. So one of the other things that I did, for those of you that did notice or don't remember, I did the same thing with this one, and I'm really impressed with that. You know, granted, now that both of these paints are translucent, so by that meaning whatever is underneath of it will show up on top. So if you leave bad spots or discolorations, you're going to see that actually pop through as far as splotches anytime you go ahead and do something like that. Yeah, that is definitely one heck of a piece of heat sink, especially for this. Now, one of the things that's also nice about this, I've done a few things with the intention of, if for some reason whoever winds up with this, you know, runs it for a few years, and if they drop a transistor or something like that, and they chose to go ahead and upgrade to, we'll just say like a 2879 box, I can actually go back, take the transformers out here, pull these away, set them out, and all I have to do is change the transformers and the combiner here to adapt to a new one. Granted, now our tuning capacitors that are here as well off of the collector to ground, those will have to be changed, and you know, our input tune. Same thing with the windings. You know, there's a few things that'll have to be changed, but the core of it is essentially set up to where later down the road, if somebody decided that they wanted to do something different, it can be modified at a later date, you know, for, you know, other uses. So, but I'm a big fan of like the 2290s and the 454s as far as for sideband use, and I've had a lot of calls this last year for that. So that's part of what's brought this on as far as this particular type of build. Alrighty. We're even going to put a red switch in. Yay. All right. Granted, everybody likes blue. But in all fairness, we need to do something as far as light. I can either do red, yellow, or green. So I'm thinking actually a yellow light as far as for the indicator, just because of the fact that we've got all this green. So what color is going to be the LED, guys? I'm going to get a palette out here real quick. That in. yellow, yellow. Okay. That's the color we'll go with. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a different color. Okay, where is the yellow? There it is. Bought like 1,000 of these, and I think I've got maybe 100, 150 of these clear ones left. But I'll use those on special occasions now that I'm getting so low on them. I don't even remember now because it's been so long. I don't even remember where exactly I got them at. Corners gonna sit down and adjust. That's great. That is. Something on a screw or what? The screws that I've got for the legs are too short or too long. Excuse me. That's no worries. That's an easy fix. Red. Yeah, we've got to have that one smart aleck. Although red would be a pretty decent choice as well. Yeah, that should be long enough. When that starts dripping. Slow down there, Trigger. Once in a while, you run into situations like that. When I went to order feet, I wound up selecting the wrong size that I use quite a bit. I mean, I use these small ones on small boxes, but unfortunately, not of the normal ones. But most of the time, I prefer kind of a short foot. But actually, one of the next size up from these. All right, let's set that baby back down in there. There we go. Much better. little chrome here on Santa's sleigh. There we go. Put these back up. Try to get you guys a little bit more where I'm actually working it too. Yeah, I know my head's in the way of the camera. Okay. Yep, I can't do that. I have to have a different relay, or excuse me, not the relay, but a different switch. I'm thinking of Class C, not Class B. Turn the heat back down too. It's getting a little warm in here. Okay, that switch is definitely in the wrong place. There we go. Got a hold of the momentary switch. It was in the wrong bin. Alrighty. Oh, it's so quiet in here now that the fan kicked off. There we go. Center's going to be off. AM sideband. Get out of the way here. Of course. Why not? Let's get fuzzy. Come on. There you go. All righty. Figured my buddy Three Made would pop in here. It's not even 10 o'clock yet. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. I know on Facebook, which it's a whole different animal there versus here. Um, so for those of you that have tuned in currently, um, the rules will have to be a little different because it's just too hard to monitor. So yeah, we'll go ahead and go with what Squirrel is commenting on. Let's see here. Yep. Yep, they've got till noon to go ahead and comment your handle and your location as far as after this video is over with for this evening. If you do that, you'll be entered to win. There's going to be two prizes. Top prize going to be this as far as for Christmas gift, and the other one is going to be a 2-pill from Three Made Amplifiers. So we've got 2 chances to win. As far as brand new amplifier for Christmas. So just make sure you pop in, comment, like I say, comment your name and your location, preferably your handle anyways. And we'll get you entered into the drawing afternoon tomorrow. Anybody that actually goes back and adds their name to that, basically at that point, we're just going to shut off commenting. It's going to be fairly hard as far as to track everything here on YouTube, as well as for my Facebook page. But that way we've got everybody that's across the board, whether you're on Facebook, use Facebook, or if you just do nothing but YouTube, you've got multiple chances as far as in ways to get involved with that. So. Okay, let that cool off. I've already got that done. Well, good evening, Weed Killer. Merry Christmas to you as well. It should be under Rainmakers Customs. Now, I will say that if you have not previously been a part of my Facebook group, right now I have the listings shut off to where you cannot join until after Christmas now. You can go in and you can get set up as far as to join, but I'm actually not going to accept any new members until after the giveaway. For those that just want to pop in only for the sole purpose of winning. That's never really got into it. So it's kind of for the people that have been here for the last few years. Okay. Go. Yeah, like I said, you'll have to enter those in as far as after the live feed. That way we've got regular commenting on this. Because trying to go back through the live feed, I think the way it's set up, you have to sit down and watch the entirety in order to catch everything. Okay. Trying to think which way I want to do this. Let's see. Well, you've still got a chance here as far as on YouTube. Like I said, you can comment right after, the video ends. You can comment that Tracy and still be entered in. So, don't give up all chances. Like I said, it's there. Oh, Lord. That's funny. Like I said, that's actually funny. Give my chance to somebody that actually needs something so I can hear them. It's funny and almost not right on so many levels. There you go. That's one way to look at it. Okay. Uh, Nothing like the good old Stooges. That's what that puts me in the mind of, anyways, is the skit from the Three Stooges. We'll have to say that those guys are definitely timeless as far as with their antics and their sense of humor. Definitely, no doubt about that. Okay. I'm still going to put a jumper up on this side, and then we got to hook up. Let me think here. Yep. That's if we do the delay. Yeah, because this actually needs to be full time, so I need to change. Just need to change one little jumper. That's no problem. I'm thinking of the way I had to do it for the other amplifier. Okay, so that up here. Yes, you will comment here, but you will do it after the feed. That way, it goes into the regular comments, and then it just makes it easier as far as to go back and list those in. Okay. Yep, that's it, squirrel. Yeah, that's no big deal. Oh, not a whole lot, KC9. I think that's Trent, if I remember right. Okay, just seeing if it was something important. All right, so I still got to put my jumper in there, and then I've got to run my items here. So that's no big deal. All right. There's that. So the jumper. Now I got to figure out which way I want to do that as far as a jumper. It's dead blasted Teflon wire. As much as I love it, when you need to make it just a fraction of a jumper. Speaking of which, let's see if I've got any left laying up here. I've actually got some solid core that would make my life much easier for this. Yeah, we still have to put a fan in this crazy thing yet too. The biggest one I've ever personally built, that would actually be a 24 pill. You know, as far as in regards to that, I've worked on larger, but as far as personally built, 24 pill. And a lot of that has to do with cost. You know, there's not much, you know, once everything's built, I mean, there's not much difference when you get into, get into it. I mean, personally, um, I would rather build, I would rather build either a 16, a 32, or even a 64, which now 64, I don't have the facilities as far as amperage available to me for something quite that large. Unfortunately, the building I'm in only has about 100 amp service. So, you know, the power supply that would be needed for a 64 pill, I just can't muster it, not without doing some major rewiring and, thousands of dollars for, upgrades. The building that I'm working out of, granted, all the wiring has been 100% updated. However, although it's been updated, that still doesn't mean that I can pull any more amperage, because as far as the main input line, when everything was redone here several years ago, unfortunately, they would not allow me to have two 200 amp services on the same line. So I had to kind of compromise, mainly because of the fact that I didn't want to pay a second electric bill. So this goes right off of the home electric, and then I do the figuring at the end of the year on that part of it. So, granted, it's a small minimum amount that it's not really even worth me messing with as far as the end of the year. But typically running this shop on a normal everyday basis, even when I was in here 7 days a week, full time, it never raised the electric more than about $40 to $60 a month. And that's even running the AC. Part of it has to do with all the upgrades to the electric system, and the extra bondings and grounds, and what have you. I've been really surprised as far as that. But at the same token, these walls are 2 feet thick, concrete, that I'm actually working out of. For me to do a live feed, so that I've got full signal, as silly as it sounds, I actually have to leave. I've got a glassed inner door, and then I've got a solid door that's on the outside. I actually have to leave, even in the wintertime, I have to leave the solid door wide open during the wintertime if I want to have any kind of a live feed, just because the signal is so dense. I've got 3 feet of sawdust insulation from the 20s that's up in the attic, and then I've got a steel roof that goes on top of this building. So, yeah, like I said, you've got 2 feet of solid concrete. It's very easy to heat. I can heat it almost with a match, just short of. So, like I said, can't really complain, but wished it could. Okay. So just got to do that. Okay. So let me cut off a strip of yellow wire. Do I want to use yellow? Let's see. Yellow, yellow everywhere. Yeah, speaking of which, that also reminds me of something else that I've got going on too. You know, I did a short video. Well, I wouldn't call it really short. But I did a video as far as doing a couple of jumpers for one of the guys, and on that, one of the oh shoot, yeah, where I'm doing the RG 400. I know I've got enough to do what I need for two of my customers, and after that, I decided. Well, actually, I should say I decided. I ordered it actually earlier this week, but because of the expense of it, I mean, it was quite a jolt. But I ordered a three. I think it came in a 325-foot roll. Is what I ordered. The RG 400. So yeah, that got into my pocketbook, especially with all the added expenses from vet bills and stuff like that that's happened this month. That was a pretty good chunk of change that I really wasn't intending on. But I will have more than my fair share as far as over the next year or two of coax that I'll be able to make all kinds of different miscellaneous jumpers for people too. Little ear here. Put there. It's down here. Okay. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, Donnie, if he's got a 64 pill with Toshiba's in it, all I can say is ouch. I mean, some of the costs of just even what people are paying for used transistors right now, I can't justify it. I really can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm just like almost all the other builders. I would rather build with Toshiba's as I would anything else. Part of it's the fact that that's what everybody knows. As far as a whole, but I would hate like heck if anything was to ever go wrong with that. As far as owning it myself. That is a whole lot of transistors. Kind of like tying your shoes. Up and over, come around the bend, twist this way, twist that way, and now you're in. You said $8,000. Well, yeah. Yeah, I've played a little bit with the lithium-ion batteries, not necessarily for this, for this type of format. But lithium-ion batteries, I mean, they've got a lot of good uses. The only thing that they really aren't good for is if you're on a plane and extreme high altitude and incredibly cold weather. They are subject to burst. So, but typically, with the way we're going to use them, as far as down here on the ground, for the most part, you'll never see a problem out of them. There we go. Okay, so on the side bend this way, AM that way. Yep, we'll put a jumper in. Okay, so that part's all squared away. Let me get this glue gun here out of my way. It's good and cold. All right. We get some plugs for this and miscellaneous stuff. Give me a second, guys. I just got to go to the other side of the building. Thankfully, it's a short walk. That. Let's see. Nope, wrong size. Who is who? Oh, Joe the Grinder. Who's Joe the Grinder? JTG. Yeah, I've heard of him, but I don't know him myself. That's fine. I'll just put it there for now. Can't get to the trash can. Yeah, I know he's been out there for a while. Like I said, I don't know him personally. Cool. Tell you what, I think I'm gonna change. Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I'm thinking he's more known for is the steel tube and your 500Zs. That's really what I know him for as far as actual builds. Ah. There we go. Getting closer with every second, guys. Just a few more finishing touches and we'll be right in there. Get that one loose here.